What made you start your own construction company?
I was working with a company in Vancouver, and when we'd be trying to meet tight deadlines, in particular, concrete pours. So we're doing formwork and we're doing big slabs and decks, and we would have a pour on a Friday and we'd be a bit behind our schedule, and we would need some extra help. So my boss would typically say, call this number. There's probably 3 or 4 labour hire companies. Call that number. Get them to send you whatever you need. So what do you need? I need 2 carpenters and 2 helpers. So I would do that. And I'd call up the local labour suppliers at least twice a month. But one thing I noticed was there was always, nobody ever came fully prepared. They would have a hard hat but no vest. Or they would have a hard hat and a vest but no pouch, no tools. Or else they would have no steel toe boots. So I was always scrambling to see if I could get bits and pieces in our tool container to get them ready for work and set them up. But I thought this was crazy. You're coming to do a job and you're not prepared. And there was a lot of excuses. Sometimes you would try and get 4 and 2 would show up. And we would always over order for that reason. If we needed 4, we'd try and get 5 and 4 would show up. So, and then there was excuses. I missed the train. I missed the bus. So I said, imagine if I set up a skilled labour hire company, and they were prepared and professional, and they had tools that I would supply for them if they couldn't get them themselves. We would give them their own vests. We would give them hard hats, steel toe boots, whatever, to make sure that when they came to the job site, they were ready to work.
And they would show up
on time. And that's what we done. We set up IRL Construction in 2011, and that was a big part of our business plan.
2011, so that was only 2 years later.
That's right. Yeah.
How was the beginning? How did your wife help you from the beginning?
She did. Yeah. She still continued to work for Bell because that was kind of the safe option.
So were you working behind the scenes in the evening, on weekends, on a plan, or did you just quit and decide to start?
Yes, I was. I was doing a lot of side jobs in the evenings and at the weekends. So I would be working with Contech during the day, for let's say 40, 45 hours a week. And then I would do some side jobs at the weekend and in the evenings, building decks for pubs and clubs and restaurants downtown. And it got so busy with all of the side work, I kind of said, you know what, I'm going to take the leap and I'm going to set up my own little crew and start small. And I did. Laura was a huge help, my wife, and she took care of the paperwork and the invoicing, and I would just send her timesheets. I started on my own initially. Then I went from 1 to 3 to 5 to 15 to 50 in probably the space of 2 years maybe. And then by 3 years we had 150 full-time employees.
Wow, how many do you have now?
We have about 200 now, but that's with the hospitality and the construction. So our construction doesn't have as many full-time employees. We have scaled it back a bit just because we're very adamant on quality. And, I think with 150 full-time with the construction, we kind of lost a bit of control. And there'd be certain jobs and stuff that might suffer a little bit because they're not getting enough attention. And we decided to scale it back a little bit and just, keep 50 people with the construction all the time, full-time, and then we could bring in help where needed.